We live. Alright. I want to say, call halal, Yahweh, Hashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. So, you know. Alright, right now we trying to explain to folks how Cornelius is none other than an Israelite. You know, if anything, a Gentile, and uh, uh, an Israelite in the Gentile state of mind. You know what I'm saying? You know, but we can start with Acts 10:1. Aside.
Con. All right, this is Acts chapter 10, verse 1. It says, there was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band. Want me to keep going?
Keep going, Doc.
Okay. A devout man and one that feareth God with all his house, which gave much alms to the people and prayed to God always.
Alright. 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 Let's go. Let's go to Acts chapter 2, verse 5. Well, yeah, let's go to Acts chapter 2, verse 5, man.
Con.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's only Israelite devout men. You know what I'm saying? You know, we don't only devout people out there. You know what I'm saying?
God, this is Acts chapter 2, verse 5. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven.
Con. You know, give me 1 second. You got a precept for that? You want to add anything to that?
I mean, just, if he was if he prayed to God always, and, the Malachi 1:14 says that the name of the Lord is dreadful among the heathen, how is a heathen going to be praying to the Most High? And only, you got to be an Israelite to have the Most High hear your prayers.
Con. Go to Acts 22 and verse 12.
This is Acts chapter 22 and verse 12. It says, and one Ananias, a devout man according to the law, having a good report of all the Jews which dwelt there.
A devout man according to the law. You ain't tell somebody to show me where anybody outside of Israel is a devout man according to the law. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
They ain't gonna find it, and if they can find it, tell them bring it out. You know. Let's go Matthew 8 and 5.
Come on. This is Matthew chapter 8 verse 5. And when Yahushua was entered into Capernaum, there came unto him a centurion beseeching him, and saying, Lord, my servant lieth at home sick of the palsy, grievously tormented. And Yahushua said unto him, I will come and heal him. The centurion answered and said, Lord, I am not worthy that thou shouldest come under my roof, but speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. For I am a man under authority, having soldiers under me, and I say to this man, go, and he goeth, and to another, come, and he cometh, and to my servant, do this, and he doeth it. You want me to keep going?
Nah, you can stop there. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then we can go right back to Acts 10.
Start at what?
Let's go start from 1 again. and then go on and then start reading down.
Okay. This is Acts chapter 10, verse 1. There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band, a devout man and one that feareth God with all his house, which gave much alms to the people and prayed to God always. He saw in a vision evidently about the ninth hour of the day an angel of God coming into him and saying unto him, Cornelius. And when he looked on him, he was afraid and said, What is it, Lord? And he said unto him, Thy prayers and thine alms are come up for a memorial before God. Right, and that just shows you again, a heathen can't be praying to the Most High. A heathen ain't gonna get an angel sent to him. At least if a wicked man might get one to kill him. You know what I mean? But this man Cornelius was devout, and again, only the Israelites were given the law. Only Israelites were given the name. The name of the Lord is dreadful among the heathen. So how is this man praying to the Most High if he's a heathen?
Con. And let's go to Mark chapter 8 and verse 27.
Come on. This is Mark chapter 8, verse 27. And Yahushua went out and his disciples into the towns of Caesarea Philippi, and by the way he asked his disciples, saying unto them, Whom do men say that I am? And they answered, John the Baptist, but some say Elias, and others one of the prophets. And he saith unto them, But whom say ye that I am? And Peter answereth and saith unto him, Thou art the Mashiach.
That's it.
Okay, come on.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We can go back to Acts 10 and verse 30.
This is Acts chapter 10, verse 30. And Cornelius said, 4 days ago I was fasting until this hour, and at the ninth hour I prayed in my house, and behold, a man stood before me in bright clothing, and said, Cornelius, thy prayer is heard, and thine alms are had in remembrance in the sight of God.
You can't go against the word. You know what I'm saying? If they think Cornelius is an Edomite, they got to prove that. You know what I'm saying? They got to prove that. Because from my understanding, I don't know anybody else outside of Israel that's giving alms. I don't know anybody outside of Israel that was devout. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about Israel as a people, not a separation of Jews and Israel. You know what I'm saying?
Salaki.
Go ahead.
I got a quick precept. This is Obadiah chapter 1, verse, let me see. I'm going to start at 9, then I'm going to jump to 18.
Go ahead.
It says, And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. If Cornelius is a devout man and the Most High and Christ was dealing with him, in the regeneration, wouldn't he be saved? Right? No, he's going to be, if he was an Edomite, right, he's going to be slaughtered. Okay, in verse 18, let's see. Or actually, I'm going to go to verse 8. It says, Shall I not in that day, saith Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and understanding out of the mount of Esau? Everyone's going to die out of the mount of Esau, man. So why would the Most High deal with someone he's going to destroy? What kind of sense does that make, man? All right, now I'm going to go to verse 18. It says, And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh hath spoken it. So how are you going to tell me he's a damn Edomite when the Most High hates Edomites? He hates all Edomites. You tell me the Most High is not a man that he should lie. So you're telling me the Most High is going to do away with the people? Yeah, he's going to, have a devout man from those people? Come on, man.
We could go. Give me a sec. Aside, Yazar, you got anything? Oh,
So repeat that out.
huh?
I said repeat that.
I was asking if you wanted to add anything.
Nah, I just like why would he be done with healing? That's the question.
Con. Well, let's go to Malachi 1 and 4.
Come on. This is Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build and I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
But Cornelius is an Edomite.
Right. And it says the people whom against whom the Yahweh hath indignation forever, man. Indignation means dislike. He doesn't like these people forever.
Salakia. Let me put it to you. Let me say this, man. Just like how when we go into the curses and we profess and proclaim that it is talking about us because this will be on us forever, and it hasn't been dealt with on anybody else other than the ones who keep cursing us. You know what I'm saying?
Khan, Slakia.
So if we believe that if in Deuteronomy 28, and I believe it's 45, or I believe it's 45. Let me go check. If he says, let me see, 40. Okay. Moreover, this is Deuteronomy 28 and 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. In verse 46, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So he ain't talking about in the kingdom. He talking about forever while we are here.
Khan, Slakia.
So if we trust in this, that this is talking about forever and it's pertaining to us, why would we not understand that in Obadiah or in Malachi 1 and 4, that when he's talking about Edom and he has indignation forever, that it's forever. You know what I'm saying?
Khan. Hey, real quick, this is the definition of indignation. It says anger or annoyance provoked by what is perceived as unfair treatment. Synonyms: resentment, displeasure, anger, outrage, annoyance, irritation, exasperation, vexation. Come on, man. And then I got a quick precept. This is Psalm 147, chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh.
Con. I'm gonna go to the Blue Letter Bible, and give me 1 second. Let me look up the definition for Za'am, the which is indignation in the Blue Letter. Give me 1 second. Salakia.
God, and while the brother's getting there, I'm gonna bring out Amos chapter 3, verse 1. It says, hear this word that Yahweh hath spoken against you, O children of Israel. against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for your iniquities. So the Most High is only dealing with the nation of Israel, man. He's not dealing with these heathens. So why would the Most High just change that? The Most High is not a hypocrite, man. Let me just get one more quick precept. This is Romans chapter 9, verse 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Why would the Most High have a devout man that he hates? No, man, that's backwards. Anything you want to add, Izar?
Nah, yeah, the Most High is always dealing with Israel, man. It's a history. That's what the scripture is. It's history, it's knowledge, instruction.
Khan.
All right, Salakia, y'all ready?
Khan.
All right, let me give you the definition of indignation in the Hebrew and Chaldee dictionary. All right, it says a prime root, which is to foam at the mouth, i.e., to be enraged, abhor, abominable, be angry, defy, have indignation.
Khan, Salakia.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, doesn't Deuteronomy 23:7 say, Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, right? But right there, a synonym for indignation was abhor. So
Okay.
either you don't know the scriptures, or Cornelius is not an Edomite, man.
Con.
And this is one real quick precept. This is Joel chapter 2, verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am Yahweh your power, and none else, and my people shall never be ashamed. He's the power of Israel and none else. Not Ishmael, not Edom, not Moab, not Ammon, and not no damn Edomite, man.
Con. Let's go and see what people don't understand is, I'm pretty sure what's his name? Cornelius was of the uncircumcised. You know what I'm saying? Was of the uncircumcision. You know what I'm saying? Because let's go there. I think I'd have to go there, but I think we gotta go there. Let's go Acts 10 and 44, and then read down.
Con. This is Acts chapter 10, verse 44. While Peter yet spake these words, the Holy Ghost fell on all them which heard the word. And they of the circumcision which believed were astonished, as many as came with Peter, because that on the Gentiles also was poured out the gift of the Holy Ghost.
There you go. Stop there. Just stop there. Now, just like it say in verse 45, and they of the circumcision which believed were astonished, as many as came with Peter, because that on the Gentiles also hath poured out the gift of the Holy Ghost. All right. So we know who the Gentiles is that they talking about in that verse. You know what I'm saying?
Con.
Let's go to Genesis 17. And I do believe it's 44.
1744.
First book.
There is no 44.
Is it 14?
17 and 14. Yep, that's it. It's Genesis chapter 17, verse 14. And the uncircumcised man child, whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people. He hath broken my covenant.
That's it. That's it. So what people don't realize is that's why we have this grace period. You know what I'm saying? Because we still have brothers and sisters out here in this world that are either unaware or just don't care. You know what I'm saying? They are the uncircumcised. Thank you. They are the uncircumcised. Because they are like Ezekiel 2 says, whether they hear or forbear, you know, go and talk to my people, the house of Israel, because they are a stiff-necked people and hard-headed. You know what I'm saying?
Salaki.
Go ahead.
This is just touching up on the Gentiles and the uncircumcision. This is Ephesians chapter 2, verse 11. Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcised by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands. How can you be in past Gentiles, man? How can you be born? That's like me saying I was in time past a Chinaman. How can I be Chinese in time past? You're either Chinese or you're not Chinese, man. You're either a Gentile or you're not a Gentile. They were in the Gentile state of mind. That's why they were called uncircumcision by the circumcision. In verse 12, that at the time ye were without Christ, because they didn't know who they were, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel, and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope and without God in the world. But now in Yahushua Mashiach, ye who sometimes were far off are made nigh by the blood of Christ. And because Yahushua, he had that sacrifice for us, that brought us all back together. You know what I mean? Because our people were going off. Some of the tribes were cut off from the commonwealth of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel and strangers from the covenants of promise, because they didn't know who they were.
That's good. Salakia. And this how we gonna make it. We're gonna deal with it like this. Let's go to Acts chapter 16, and we can start at 1. Because people just don't understand, like, just because you hear that someone is from a different place, we already know that we were scattered, man. Why is it that we know we were scattered, and the people who read this know we were scattered, but yet they still want to claim these prominent people to be outside of Israel? We see Acts chapter 16, and start at verse 1, Hassad. The water.
Salaki, I was on mute. I was reading it. My fault. This is Acts chapter 16, verse 1. Then came he to Derbe and Lystra, and behold, a certain disciple was there named Timotheus, the son of a certain woman which was a Jewess, and believed, but his father was a Greek.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Now, you see how it says, and she was a Jewess, right? And believed. Now, what separates her from being a Jew and the other dude and his father from being a Greek? He was living that Gentile state of mind. Continue.
This is Salaki. This is verse 2. It says, which was well reported of by the brethren that were at Lystra and Iconium. Him would Paul have to go forth with him and took and circumcised him because of the Jews which were in those quarters, for they knew all that his father was a Greek.
Stop there. you know, and him would Paul have to go forth with him and took and circumcised him. You know what I'm saying? Like I asked another Akim or another Ak, why? How was Paul being treated? You know what I'm saying? Paul was treated bad, right? Because as you can see here, you know, why would he circumcise this Greek dude if it wasn't if he wasn't a lost Israel? You know what I'm saying? Like we already established that we had separated ourselves from the northern kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Because they weren't keeping the laws.
Con. And Slakia, and that word right there for Greek is Helen. And I'm in the Bible dictionary, and it says, let me get Greek. Here we go. It's Grecia is Greece, the home of the Hellenists. Greeks and Grecians, however, are to be distinguished. Greeks are generally those of Hellenic race. So there's Grecians and there's Greeks, and they're to be distinguished. So let's look up what that word Hellenist means. All right, this is the Bible dictionary, the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, and it's going to be on page 223. This is Hellenist. Jews who made Greek their tongue, and with it often adopted Greek ideas and practices, man. So these are Jews who took on the Greek customs and you know what I mean? So that's a cut. That's who Timothy's father were, and that's who the Greeks were. When you read Galatians 3:28, there's neither Jew nor Greek. That's what it's talking about.
Con. And if we know that we wrote the Hebrew, we also wrote the Greek. We also wrote the English. You know what I'm saying? Let me ask y'all a question. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 11:1, because the priest Alazar, he brought that out the other day in his class, and I think that's a vital key to a lot of all these scriptures. You know what I'm saying? To a lot of the word. We're gonna go to Ecclesiastes 11 and verse 1. And start at 1.
Con, it's Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 1. It says, "Cast thy bread upon the waters, for thou shalt find it after many days."
Continue. Go ahead.
It says, "Give a portion to 7 and also to 8, for thou knowest not what evil shall be upon the earth."
Hold on. Stop there. Stop there. Now let's go to Revelation, and let's get an understanding right quick. You know, like the Akim brought out the other day. We can go to 7 and 15.
Con. This is Revelation chapter 7, verse 15. It says, "Therefore are they before the throne of God, and serve him day and night in his temple. And he that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them."
17 and 15.
Oh, Slakia. Okay.
Con. No problem.
This is Revelation chapter 17, verse 15.
Hold on. Before you go ahead, Salakia.
It says, "And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues."
All right, stop there. Now let's skip up to 17 and 9.
Con. This is Revelation chapter 17, verse 9. "And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth.
Go ahead.
And there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, and 1 is."
Slow down. You got to slow it down.
Con, Slakia. "And there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space." And the beast that was and is not, even he is the eighth, and is of the seven, and goeth into perdition.
All right, stop there. Stop there. Now, do we know who those seven, who these seven heads are? And do we know who the eighth is? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we cast our we cast our bread upon the waters. You know what I'm saying? To the seventh and to the eighth, right? You know what I'm saying? Now I'm gonna give you the seven heads. All right. The first one is Greece. All right. The second one is Rome. The next one is Spain. Next one is France. Next one is Germany. The next one is Russia. How many heads is that so far? That's 6 heads, right? Then 7 is Great Britain, which will only be for a short time, right? And then the 8th came from the 7th. What was created out of Great Britain? That's America.
Con.
You know what I'm saying? The 8 heads. So all these places have had our information, that we've given all these people our stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, we were living in Spain. You know what I'm saying?
Con.
So, you know, that just goes to show you, like, that's what I was telling the Ak the other day when I said, you know, about Ecclesiastes 11:1 and how, you know, when we cast our bread out, that's how all these people have this information. Yet nobody can keep this information correctly. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not in them to do so. It's just not in any other nation to keep these laws like us. That's why they pride themselves on, you know, well, Sunday is church, and we dwell in buildings made with hands, you know what I'm saying, and prosperity doctrines, and you know what I'm saying. But don't nobody know what nation anybody is in the scriptures. You know, go ahead, Ak. You know what I'm saying? I just had to point that out.
Oh no, I got nothing. I'm just, I'm listening.
Come. You know what I'm saying? You know, because most folk don't realize that part, man. Like, you know, Revelation 17 and going down like that, you know. You know, because if you go back up further, you go to Revelation 17:5, and it states, and upon her forehead was the name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. If you tell any of these random folks in this world that they're living in Babylon the Great, and everybody that keeps wanting to jump on a plane or a boat to come over here, if you told them that this is Babylon, Salakia, man, I was at work today, and a woman, she ordered some pizza, and I said, you know, I really don't like to put my hand in the pork area and then put it in the vegetable area. You know what I'm saying? You know, I work at a pizza spot, and she said, why? I say, well, you know, it just, I don't eat pork. You know what I'm saying? I don't really deal with pork. She's like, what are you, Jewish? No, she said something, man. I was just like,
Muslim?
nah, man. Nah. She was just, you know, like, you know, what's your, I said, I'm a Jew. You know what I'm saying? And it's not permitted for me to, it's not right for me to eat that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's not good for you. You know what I'm saying? And she said, you know, she said, is that Old Testament? I was like, well, there's really no separation. You know what I'm saying? You know, but no matter what I said to her, she just would not understand what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? Because then she went into the whole, you know, well, I'm agnostic, or I'm this, evangelical, or that. I'm just like, you're not understanding me. Like, you're talking to one of the children of the Bible. Like, You still don't understand what you're listening to? You don't understand who you're talking to right now? If I'm telling you that pork ain't good for you, you shouldn't be like, well, in my religion, you were allowed to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get that.
Come, we're God's chosen people, man. We say jump, you say how
Con,
high.
con. You know what I'm saying?
Con,
You know.
anything you wanna add on that?
Nah, man, I think that's all.
Okay, Con. I want to say, call halal, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, call me out
Uh,
Sha'ala, and death to America.
death to America, man.
Shalom, man.
Shalom.